Okay, so in this tutorial here, I'm going to be showing you guys how to close up the top of a beanie, or in this case, a bonnet, with a straight across closure rather than a cinched closure, which would be typical for most beanies. This is a kitty style bonnet, so it's going to be straight across. It will have little pointed ears. So I've just got my finished bonnet here ready to close. I have transferred my stitches onto some DPNs. I do find it a bit easier to work with those versus the circular needles. And I've just popped on some stitch stoppers at the end to prevent my stitches from coming off. I've also got a darning needle with about 35 or 40 inches or so here of the same yarn that I've used for the hat. So we're going to go ahead and graft these stitches together to form a seamless closure at the top of the hat. We're going to be doing that by using the Kitchener stitch. So I've got my needles here with an even amount of stitches on either side, so 19 on either DPN. And we're just going to start with the first stitch here. So basically what you'll need to remember with this stitch is knit one, purl one, and then the opposite, purl one, knit one. So the front needle will be knitting and then purling, back will be purling and then knitting. So first stitch here, I'm going to insert my needle knitwise, so through the front of the stitch, and slide that stitch off. Pull my yarn up, and then I'm going to go into the next stitch, leaving that one on my needle through the back. So there's your purl. So purlwise, so knit, purl, and then I'm going to go to the back, and I'm going to insert purlwise and slide that stitch off of my needle, and then in through the front and knit. And that stitch will stay on my needle. So first stitch is always dropping off, second stitch is always staying on. So knit, slide it off, purl, keep it on, purl, slide it off, knit, keep it on. It does get a little bit tricky with keeping that tail out of the way and just making sure your yarn is nice and organized. Don't pull this too tight, but do keep it fairly snug so that there's nothing, no gaps or anything. Okay, so knit, purl, purl, slide it off, knit. Okay, I'll show you one more time. So knit, purl, purl, slide that stitch off, and then knit. It does take a little bit of time, so be patient, but it will look really nice and clean when you're finished. Once you give it a little pull there, the stitches will blend into each other across the top. So I'm going to continue on here, and then I'll meet you at the end of the video to show you what this looks like completed. Okay, so we've completed the top of the beanie here. So as you can see, the stitches are all grafted, and it's a nice clean closure at the top. I've got two little bits here on the end of the beanie, and I'm just going to go ahead and weave those in and just give them a little knot on the inside and tie them off. And then you can leave the beanie if you'd like, just like this. Or if you prefer, you can go ahead and add some little knots, which I do here just to kind of pull in the little cat ears so that when you put it on, you get more of a definition with the kitty cat ear. But that is how you close up the top of a beanie or bonnet straight across using the Kitchener stitch.